everyone, welcome to Polymer Clay TV. I'm Elisa, and today you can see that it's a different angle we're going to be working with. It is below freezing outside here in northern Florida, believe it or not. So I didn't want to be in my studio. So I'm here on my dining room table at the moment. So anyways, what we're going to do today is a little fun project, and we're going to make one of these little glass jars, and this is what it looks like before we get started. They have a little screw off top, and you have to look for something that's metal. That's the important thing. You can't do a plastic top in the oven usually, so you want to look for something that's metal so that you can bake the whole thing. Although, if you're not doing anything to the glass part, you don't even have to worry about baking that. I chose not to add anything onto the glass part for this particular reason, because I want to put little doodads and things in there that I can see. So once you start adding extra things on there, you won't be able to see as good. So if it's something that you're just storing in there, it's not a big deal. But if you want to have something that you can see into, you don't want to cover the ends. So that's why I'm covering the top. And this particular one has like a little groove here, so it sets it down and looks really cute. And so I thought a whole array of these would be really nice. So the things that I'm going to be using today are the Mandala stamps, and they come in a set of 4. And I'm going to be using one of the round and square cutters, the border cutters. I have a pan pastel in turquoise that I'm using. I'm using Primo accents in purple pearl. And I have the mini bling mold. And of course my regular tools, which is my rod, my poker, and my blade. And I also have a set of the graduated cutters, and I've chosen the 2 that are the right size for the lid. So you'll see that as we go on. So we're going to start just by flattening a sheet of the purple clay, and then what I did was I just used the mandala and stamped right on there. And actually this is the one here. So what I did after I stamped it, well, that's not the one I want to use, this one. So you give it a little push. You want to make sure to use a release with these. These ones can stick because they are plastic. So you do want to apply pressure, but you also don't want to get it to stick either. So you got to find that happy medium and peel it off. So there you have it. And so then I came in with my cookie cutter like so, kind of lined it up so that I got, the design I wanted. Give it a little twist, and now I have the top part. Okay? So the bottom part really was just a plain layer of this clay. That's all it was. And I'm in the house and didn't bring my pasta machine, so I did all this just by rolling it out with my acrylic rod. So that's another tip. I know a lot of you newbies don't have a pasta machine, and I just want you to realize you don't have to have a pasta machine. It's not something that's a necessity. It's something that I didn't have for the first 8 years of working with polymer clay. So don't feel like you have to run out and get a pasta machine. Yes, they make your life easier, I will admit that, but it's not something you need. It's not something you have to have, I should say, because all you need is something to roll it out, and you can even use a glass that doesn't have any ridges or anything to do that. So just a little tip. So there I have it. I have just a flat sheet, and so I measured out this cookie cutter, and all these, like I said, are in the graduated cookie cutter set that has 11 different sizes in it. So there's a lot to choose from. And so this was just plain. That was just a plain. You could texture this. You could do whatever you want. I'm leaving it plain, just cleaning up my edges, and because my design is going on top. So I just laid that flat on there and made sure that it was where I wanted it to go. You can stretch it if need be, but this was the right size cookie cutter for this, because I measured it out. So there you go. So then I have these little moons, which that's what they look like, and I needed 9 of them to go all the way around. So there's a little moon right here, and I just molded 9 of them. Super simple to do. And then I decided I was going to go this direction here, kind of make like a little almost a scallop all the way around. And so I just simply lay these on there and kind of butt them up against each other. I didn't want them to overlap. I didn't want them to stick off because I don't want anything to get broken. So I make sure that they're all the way touching the clay as I go around. And you may hear some noise in the background. That's my kitty cat who just came running in here because she thought she had to be outside until she found out how cold it was. And she's got allergy issues, so that didn't help either. So if you hear a sniffly little cat, that's her. Anyway, so I just continued, and like I said, I figured out that it was 9. That's how much the other jar took, was 9 of these little moons. And so I just pre-molded them to make it, putting it together so much faster. And so if you have like a little gap in between that you're not happy with, move them around until you are happy with it. And when you find that you find the placement that you're happy with, then you want to go ahead and give them a gentle push so that it adheres to the base clay. You're not looking to distort them, just a gentle push. And then at this point, you can put the piece that we molded, actually this is the one we just molded, on top. Look at how pretty. And just want to give it a light push around the edges with this. Okay, and then you can set that aside. So I like to start by just squaring up an edge, you know, making it straight rather. And then you want to use your border cutter. And it's cold here, so it hasn't been cutting fantastic for me this morning. So let me just try again here. You want to give it a nice push. And you really want to get it to separate from the clay. So you don't have to bring in your X-Acto knife if possible. So there we go. And then you can just pull away the extra. And so now you have a nice little border that you can then put around here. So after I've cut it down to size, I just wrap it around here, as you can see. And then, you know, you try to make the end as neat as possible just by using your fingers. If you want to cut off extra, if you don't want to have that double there, you can do that. And just piece it all around. And I've already gone through here and added a little bit of not powdered pigments, well, these are pan pastels. And just use that to highlight. I just wanted to do a little on the edge of my moons and a little here. Kind of just use my finger to spread it around and kind of, you know, just add a little bit of color. You can do this with whatever color you want. Just use your imagination with it. But look at how cute that is. And imagine these with some buttons and some beads. Let me put that on the little groove. There's the groove. And here's, imagine them lined up. I'm going to put these in my studio, and as you might know, my studio is purple and blue, so that's why I've chosen these colors. But I just love how beautiful it looks. It kind of looks like just a pretty bloom there without, you know, much effort. Because if you're going to make a bunch of these, you know, if you want a whole bunch on your desk or whatever, you don't want something that's going to take hours to make. But look at how fast that is. And all I did was, you know, use one of these mandalas, a little bit of pan pastel. I used the mini bling mold, and then I used the, this is the round and comes from the round and square border cutters. And that's really it. So simple, and of course I needed my round cookie cutters too. So that's what I used, and you know, it's a really fun and easy project, and I hope you'll try it. So thanks so much for joining me, and have fun creating.